give you a couple stories for entrepreneurs so you can understand context of raising money on IndieGogo. Number one, you have Samantha from New York who has a small business, totally exists, for 2 years. She sells gluten-free desserts, been around for 2 years out of her kitchen, and wants to expand. She wants to get some more machinery and wants to change her packaging so she can sell in stores. Gets rejected by the bank. This is a classic story, right? Gets rejected by the bank. She has revenues, been around for 2 years. She goes on IndieGogo, she raises the money she needs. Not only is she fully funded, she now sells in over 40 states in America, has hired many employees, and the White House blog has written about her in the White House blog. She was the one on stage with President Obama, right? That's the story of the problem in America with the banking system and our access to capital, and how crowdfunding, no equity, can change all that, right? Another story is you have Satari Star, an electronics company out in the valley in California, and they want to be able to get their pilot, the prototype out, to be able to manufacture. They go to 43 VCs. Every single one of the VCs says the same thing. This is a classic. This is the way VCs say no. Ready? I love this. This is amazing. I cannot wait to fund this. All you need to do is bring this to market, show that it works, have people buy it, bring the data to me, I will fund you.
Who's heard that?
Okay?
Yes.
That's what's called no. Okay? So that's 43 VCs say that. So they're like totally broken hearted and they're like, we got nothing, this sucks. So they went on IndieGogo, they got funded, raised the money they needed, lots of strangers funding them. Some of those investors came back and put in $1 million. Why? Because they actually did everything they told them. They got the prototype, they got customers, they showed that it worked, they created their marketing messaging, all in one 45-day campaign, right? Or number three is you have 2 young students from Columbia University who want to create this thing called Luminate, which is an inflatable solar light. Super cool. It's a Ziploc bag with a battery, with a solar-powered battery that you can blow up the bag so it diffuses the light, really light, easy foldable. You can really sell it to lots of third world countries. It gets funded in 25 countries. They now are, being nominated for 30 under 30 best in America, right? And totally moving on the way up. These examples I'm giving you, I just want to set context for now the data I'm about to provide. We have thousands of these every week. Every week, okay? So I'm gonna give you some tips. Number one, how do you have a great campaign? Every campaign is the same. I know you all think it's gonna be special. You wanna come up and say, oh, I have this idea, tell me, does this still apply? It's all the same. Number one, have a good pitch. Number two, be proactive. And number three, find an audience that cares. So number one, have a good pitch. You wanna have a video as part of your campaign. If you have a video, you'll raise 114% more money than if you don't have a video. The video should not be longer than 2.5 minutes. The video should have human beings in it that are part of the campaign. The video should be created for the campaign. It should not be your sales material. It should not be your nonprofit sales pitch. It should not be anything. It should be made for the campaign. An average campaign that hits its target will hit its target on day 36 of a 47-day long campaign. You can have a campaign up to 120 days on IndieGogo. More time does not get more money. It gets you more laziness, okay? The next one, we know that 93% of campaigns that hit their target will offer perks in return. A product, a service, or experience. It does not need to be physical. It just needs to be something in return. 85% of those will offer 3 to 8 perks. A high, a medium, a low is the standard. That's 3, and then up to 8. You don't want to offer more. So that's having a good pitch. Number 2 is you want to be proactive. You want to have more people on your team. You don't want to be alone. It's nice to have a host committee. If you have 4 or more people on your team, you'll raise 70% more money than if you have 1 person on your team. If you do an update every 5 days or less, you'll raise 4 times more money than if you do an update every 20 days or more. If you raise 25% of your money within the first week, you're 5 times more likely to hit your target. Hands down, your number 1 tool is email. Number 2 is Twitter. Sorry. Number 2 is Facebook. Number 3 is Twitter. They're not even close. Email is way the best. Facebook is way second, and Twitter is way third. The proper way to do an email is to not send an innocuous subject that's 7 paragraphs long with the content. You have 9 links in it, and then at the end you say, I hope you like this, check it out. The way you do it is you're very direct. In the title, raising $21,000 in 17 days to fund my coffee truck. You have 2 links in the email. They go to the same place. You start off with 2 sentences to say what you're funding for. You have the link. You then expose all of your emotional story for the next 7 paragraphs, and you have 1 more link, which is the same link that you just had at the top. 95% of people will never read beyond the first link. They like you anyway. They know you're passionate. They're going to fund you or they're not, right? So that's being proactive. And number 3 is finding an audience that cares. There are no elves, as he was mentioning. It's lots of hard work. We use this phrase, there are no elves. There are no strangers on any platform anywhere in the world that want to fund $0 empty campaigns. Nowhere. So what you need is you need to get validation, social proof from your own friends and family first. We've figured out that that's approximately 20 to 40% of your target. Whatever target you set, it's about 20 to 40% of that. Now, when you get your neighbors and your friends to fund that first 20 to 40%, when we get you strangers to look at it, they will actually fund you. If we have strangers look at it, we could be on the homepage, you'll get no money. They will not fund empty campaigns. On average on IndieGogo, a campaign will get 20% of its funding from total strangers. Total strangers. Some campaigns will never get $1 from a stranger. Some campaigns will get 98% of their funding from total strangers. So the way you go from your inner circle to total strangers is you want to have a higher GoGo factor. So this is the end of my little talk here. And the GoGo factors are equivalent to Google's PageRank. Everything at IndieGogo is algorithmic. There is no judgment, there is no curation, there is no opinion. You earn your own GoGo factor based on your updates and how much your community funds you and acts. You earn getting on the homepage. You will earn getting in the New York Times because we will do that for you. So that's how you get to strangers. Again, I spoke pretty fast. There's a lot of data there. We can do 10 times more of that data. It's all on the blog. Thanks for having me.